Okay, thank you. Now I can get it. Thank you, Patricia. Well, so good morning, everybody. So it is truly a pleasure to be here, and I would like to, before starting the proceedings, just use 2 or 3 minutes to underline some of the things that Anna has just said, and to explain a little bit better what is our purpose in this conference, this seminar, and this series of lectures that we'll have. Well, first of all, and I think this is perhaps the most important part, I truly would like to thank the presence of, our 3 keynote speakers, who are not only authorities and masters in their own topics, but who are also, and this is something that honors me in particularly, good friends that have had an enormous influence in many of the intellectual researches that we do here at the Institute. And this is, Charles Burnett, Anne-Marie Jordan, and Fernando Antonio Batista Pereira, with very different, all of them with very different approaches to our topic, but as I said, with a very distinct influence on many of the things that we have done here. And also, and this is especially true in the case of Professor Burnett, also in the training of people that are and were involved with our research units. We are very much in debt to the 3 of them. So it is truly an honor and a pleasure to welcome them. But also the list of speakers that we'll be presenting is absolutely fascinating, and I could not wish for a better collection of researchers to fulfill what are our goals. What are our goals? Well, the topic science and art is not a new topic. I mean, this is a very traditional topic in a sense. It has been explored in many, many ways. So we are very aware of this. However, the subtitle of our conference introduces some novelty that needs to be looked carefully, and that is in the Portuguese Renaissance. For the Portuguese case, the topic has not been that much explored. Of course, we have quite a number of very good work that has already been produced. But the main problem from our point of view is that the 2 communities that have been interested in this topic, and that is historians of science and historians of art, in the case of Portugal, have still not communicated sufficiently. So if a goal had to be identified to our conference, I would say that it is one attempt, perhaps not the first, but certainly one of the very first attempts to put the 2 communities of historians of science and historians of art trying to find a common ground, a common language, and a common understanding to this topic, art and science in the Portuguese Renaissance. This is the sole novelty of this enterprise. Another, perhaps, attempt at some novelty is that we were quite broad in our approach, in the sense that, as you will see from the list of speakers, we are interested in many different approaches to this topic. And so I think this will be a very lively conference, and I do hope that many new ideas emerge, and especially that bridges of communication between, as I said, 2 communities of scholars that generally do not interact efficiently, that this problem is in a great measure overcome. Behind us, there is, as I said, there is certainly, and we do not claim to be the first in any sense, there is certainly some tradition of people that have already studied, but still I insist this desire of have especially a younger generation of scholars interacting with each other. This is one of the main ideas of this conference. So I very much insist that you take this opportunity to not only present your work and discuss with others, but also in trying to find ways of having the approaches more typical of the history of science, engaging in some dialogue with the approaches more typical of the history of art.